Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Sheffield United Way match reaction. We're throwing it away again, aren't we? We're throwing it away yet again. It's happened a lot this season, a lot, but don't feel as bad now we are sort of almost relegated, you could say. Lots of people saying it. I'm one of the people that will believe that there's a possibility of staying up until there's not a possibility of staying up. But yeah, even I'm a little bit like, yeah, we're practically relegated, so don't matter as much as it used to. It's sad to say, it really is. But yeah, we should have come away with the 3 points. In all honesty, yeah, they had a lot of chances. They have a lot of great chances until kind of like the last 20 minutes when we kind of sat back and just let them come on to us. That was very frustrating because we do that a lot, Sheffield United. I don't think we just sit back at 1-0. I think we always think we need to go for a second just to make sure we are kind of, we've got a buffer. But we had that buffer and then we just sat back, let them come on to us. And like I said, yeah, threw it away, unfortunately. But let's go into the lineup first and foremost. It was a weird one. I was thinking, what is Wilder thinking? And actually, this time, especially in that first half, Wilder did a great job. Like, that is they put in a really, really good performance, especially defensively for kind of 70, 80 minutes. Really, really impressed with the lads on the field today. I don't think anyone had a bad game. Yeah, obviously, Osborne is a little bit to blame for the second goal. McAtee, a bit to blame for the first goal. But you've got to say that until the subs happened, we were the better team, in my opinion. Like, they came at us a lot, but they didn't create anything very clear cut. So yeah, I quite enjoyed this game, in all honesty. A few of the players had a really, really good game, especially our blaster. Big fan of this lad, and he's going to the very top, in my opinion. Very, very good player. Don't look out of place, does he? And really, I was singing the praises of Andre Brooks couple of months ago, and Andre Brooks is getting nowhere near the team now for some reason. But yeah, our blaster, another young lad coming through the ranks, and it's great to see. And like I said, he was fantastic today. Brereton Diaz, brilliant. Ollie McBurney, brilliant. We had some really, really good performances on that pitch today and definitely deserve that point, at least, if not more. But yeah, we'll get into it as we get on. So, yeah, 10th minute. This is where the first big thing happened. They had a lot of possession in the first half, a lot of going sort of close, but ball's been fired over the bar, wide, some straight at Gerbich. They didn't really create anything that was any big chances in the first half. This happened in the 10th minute where the ball comes across. Tom Davies thinks he can get the ball and kind of slide tackles sort of through Solanke. Or that's what I thought anyway. But he actually slides, gets a toe on it, and I actually don't think he gets anything of Solanke until after he's touched the ball. And yet again, VAR at its worst, because this goes to VAR. The referee gives it, but because the referee's given it, VAR don't want to overturn this unless it's clear and obvious. And to me, it was clear and obvious. He goes for the ball, he gets the ball, he doesn't get the man until after he's got the ball. So I don't know how VAR didn't interject and make that I don't know, drop ball or whatever it would have been. But for me, it's a good tackle by Tom Davies. It's a risky one and a stupid one, but it's a good tackle. Obviously, the referee didn't see it that way, and VAR just what can you say? Like, it's happening every week, and VAR just haven't got. Well, it's almost like VAR don't have the bottle to go against the ref, and the ref doesn't have the bottle to go against VAR. When VAR says, I think you've made a mistake, the referee goes and it always changes the decision. So there's never any times when a referee and VAR don't agree with each other. And you know what football is like? We all have different opinions. So they can't always have the same opinion. They can't always be both singing from the same hymn sheet. It just can't happen, and it does. So clearly, they're not giving honest opinions, in my opinion. And Tom Davis wins the ball. He does not take the man until after. So, but anyway, there's no point in talking about it too much more because Solanke steps up, slips over, almost like double kicks the ball, and it goes over the bar. We've seen it happen loads of times before when players slip. Um, and I was very, very happy about this. Very, very happy about this because those sorts of lucky breaks don't happen for Sheffield United too often. So when they do happen, it's quite fun to see. And then a little bit later on, not too much after that, um, we go 1-0 up, and it almost feels like it was coming because obviously, if we're going to get that bit of luck, we'll get that bit of luck at the other end. It felt like it was coming. It actually did, because we had a few breakaways where it just quite didn't quite happen, and then it did. So McBurney does really, really well on the ball. He's getting us forward, pushing past defenders, and then looks like he's going down, gets a toe away to Harmer. Harmer gets a toe out to Bogle. It's a great shot from Bogle. Well, there's a lot of pace on it. It could have been further into the corner, but if it's further into the corner, I think the keeper pushes this wide and we don't score the goal. So the fact that it wasn't right in the corner, which the keeper probably expected, he pushes it back towards the 6-yard box, and Harmer runs in, smashes the ball into the back of the net. The keeper gets sort of a fingertip to it, but there's no way he's keeping this out because he rifles it home. It reminded me of a different one at home. I can't remember which one it was this season that Harmer stuck away. It might have been Brighton. It might have been Brighton in the cup. But yeah, he's really good at ghosting in and just following his passes, really. And he puts the ball in the back of the net. Great to see. 1-0 up. It's one of them where I'm thinking we're probably going to lose this 2 or 3-1, in all honesty. We're probably going to do that. No, but we kept pushing on. It got to half time. And I felt like we were fair play for the 3 points at this point. I don't think Bournemouth really offered too much going forward by this time. But we go into the second half. Again, just the same way. I think Bournemouth came at us a lot. We tried to do them on the break. Our blaster got away at one point. He breaks clear after McBurney knocks the ball down. He gets kind of through 2 defenders, hits an absolute peach of a shot into the bottom corner, and he couldn't really hit this any better. Other than I think he scuffed it very, very slightly because he kind of bobbled up, but he hits it right towards that bottom corner, and the keeper makes a really good save. I don't think there's anywhere else that our blaster could have hit that where it wouldn't have kind of been saved by the goalkeeper because it was quite an acute angle. It was from quite far out. So yeah, good save from the goalkeeper and good strike from our blaster, but he breaks through the defense. It's a great run from him after McBurney's knockdown. So I'm happy to see that because someone like Andre Brooks is not quite as direct as that because he's so skillful, Andre Brooks. He almost slows the game down a little bit, almost like Didsey-esque, where I think he's got the pace, Andre Brooks, but he doesn't necessarily show it too much because, like I say, it slows it down. But our blaster here just picks the ball up and goes and goes. He thinks he can get through, and he does. And we want to see more from that from our blaster. He's going to be a big, big player in the Championship for us next season. I think with him, like I keep saying, Andre Brooks, if we can keep Harmer, if we can keep some of these players, I think we will have a good squad next season. And we can push for promotion again. So that would be nice. But then we go 2-0 up. And I think this is, again, kind of against the run play. But this is these are the things that we need to score from corners and free kicks and things like that. It doesn't happen a lot. And actually here we get another massive slice of luck because the goalkeeper punches the ball straight at his own player, straight at Solanke. It lands perfectly for Jack Robinson. He holds off his man, gets kind of I don't know if it's a half volley or a full volley, and it hits the inside of the post. And Robbo's off celebrating. Like the keeper claws it back, but Robbo's off celebrating. He knows that's miles over the line. It reminded me of the ghost goal at Aston Villa where everybody ran off celebrating because they knew it had gone over the line. Obviously for the watch not to work, but the watch worked this time. You love to see it. I wasn't 100% sure if this was in, but it looked in. It actually did look in, and turns out it was miles over the line. McBurney steers another shot towards goal, which is cleared off the line. But yeah, it's just good that the watch works this time, and we go 2-0 up, and everybody's going crazy. It's great for Jack Robinson as well because yeah, Jack Robinson's not had the best of time in his Sheffield United career. It's certainly been a fantastic year and a half for him, I would say. Um, yeah, or maybe 2 years. Like this season, he's been our best defender by a mile, by a country mile. He was probably our best defender last season as well, in all honesty. Trying to think if Egan and Anel had a better season than him. I don't think so. I think he made a couple of errors early on, but yeah, he's been fantastic, Jack Robinson. I absolutely love the guy. I really do, and he deserves everything that he's getting, and he definitely deserves to be a starter next season in the Championship as well. Um, but yeah, scores his first Premier League goal, I believe that was, because everybody was celebrating like crazy. Obviously, everyone always celebrates like crazy when Jack Robinson scores a goal because it doesn't happen too often, and he always looks really, really happy when he scored a goal. Um, and actually, he scores more. He's probably scores more goals than any other defender, in my opinion. So it's nice to see him get his first Premier League goal. And yeah, like I say, I just wish that it would have been the winner because if we'd have kept it down to 2-1, it would have been the winner that goal. But unfortunately, that did not happen. Again, we had another massive slice of luck with Solanke's goal being disallowed in the second half straight after, or maybe 5 or 10 minutes after that. Oh no, I think it was straight after. Yeah, it was straight after. Um, yeah, what happened was the ball comes over. Jack Robinson, it's a shot that's deflected, I believe. Jack Robinson tries to smash the ball away, hits it straight at Solanke's hand, and then he puts the ball in the back of the net. This is a ridiculous rule, by the way. If any Bournemouth fans are watching and think that I've been really, really biased towards Sheffield United up to now, I don't think that rule should exist. If the ball hits a striker's hand or anyone's hand attacking and then they score a goal, it should be disallowed. That's ridiculous. Because how is it one rule for a defender and another rule for an attacker? Because if a ball's booted at a defender's hand from inches away, that's not given as a penalty. But if the same happens for a striker, it it's ridiculous. It really is because he's not doing anything with his hands. His hands are down by his side. The ball's booted at him. It's not his fault. The ball's booted at it. He's not moved his hand towards the ball. It's just hit it and landed straight for him to poke the ball in the back of the net. So yeah, I was going to say I felt sorry. I didn't feel sorry for Solanke at all. But it is a silly rule. It really is such stupid rule that. But yeah, if that had gone in, we could have lost this game 3-2. So yeah, thank God that it got disallowed. Then Bournemouth corner comes in. It's really poor. It's really poor defending by the Blades. Ben Brereton Diaz is stood at the front post where Vinny Souza normally stands. Vinny Souza wins a lot of those headers as well. I've noticed in recent weeks. But Ben Brereton Diaz, they obviously put a big lad at the front post to head everything away. That's a poor corner, a corner that's not long. But it goes over Brereton Diaz. He jumps up, doesn't get there. And McAtee's just not marking his man. But let's be honest, McAtee won't have been used much in his career as man marking a big lad from a corner. So I'm not blaming McAtee for this one. It was poor from him, but like what do you expect? Even if he'd have ran with him, even if he'd have jumped with him, he would not have it had not stopped him because the player ran in like a steam train, and Gerbic obviously had absolutely no chance. But what do you expect when you're putting James McAtee on a big lad like that just to head the ball in the back of the net? If McBurney would have been on, that wouldn't have happened, in my opinion. And I know McBurney will be tired because he's not used to the pace of the game because he's been injured a while. I just feel like maybe we could have left McBurney on for this full game and just used him to head balls away in the box. Bringing McAtee on and making him do a similar job to what McBurney would have done. Poor, poor managerial decision, in my opinion. And then right at the death, 90th minute, I do believe, Bournemouth score an equaliser. And then we're thinking, this is 8 minutes left. 8 minutes left to try and not concede. It could have been slightly later than 90th minute. But yeah, the balls, I can't remember how it happened, but I think the corner came to the back post, headed towards goal, booted off the line, and you think, whew, we've got rid of it. And then the ball comes back in, flicked on, and Ben Osborne just loses his man. And Ben Osborne uh, has been great over his Blades career. He really has. When he's been called upon, he always comes up with the goods. He really does when he's filling in. He's never really had a big run of games for the Blades, so you can't give him too much grief ever, in my opinion. But he does lose his man at this one. He lost his man Saka on Monday night quite a few times, but that's because it's Saka. When the ball's kind of flicked on like that, you should know exactly where your man is. He should be in front of you, not behind you. And you know what? I watched a bit of the Wednesday match last night against Leeds. The goal scored just before half time by Patrick Bamford. I was laughing about it because you could just see him. He peeled off him and then he's just ghosting at the back post and taps it in. And the defender completely doesn't see him at all. That same thing happened to us, and yeah, it's gutting. It really is. And they had loads of chances after this as well in the 8 minutes because the problem was when we went 2-0 up, we just sat back and just let them come on to us because we defended so well. I think we just sat back and thought we can carry on defending really, really well, and we'll we'll be fine. We'll see this game out. But sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And more often than not this season, it doesn't, and we don't see the game out. We've conceded so many late goals this season. And that's the difference between a team vying to stay up. I'm not saying we would have stayed up if we'd have um, not conceded so many late goals, but would have certainly been in with a shout. Would have been in sort of Luton's place, maybe even higher, or at least sort of third bottom, looking for fourth bottom. But now that's the difference between us and a team that could potentially stay up, and it's really gutting. It really is, but that's life. It is, and this season, like I said, we've been really, really poor at times. In the last sort of 5-10 minutes, even 20 minutes at sometimes, with all the minutes being added. I just want to go through some of the players though. Like I said, Arblaster. If you've not seen this from the start, Arblaster I thought was fantastic. Really, really good. Could actually gain that spot for the rest of the season. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't, because if Arblaster plays there for the rest of the season, that really gives him um that succession of games to get ready for next season. And if he's looking good in the Premier League, he'll be absolutely fine in the Championship, won't he? So yeah, I'd like to see more of our blaster. I think Tom Davies sort of controlled the game, in my opinion. He's very, very good on the ball, doesn't lose it very easily. Um, Good on the half turn as well. I really like Tom Davis. And I don't actually think we got too bullied in the midfield today. Harmer obviously got his goal, so that'll boost his rating up. He's got a 7.8 on Flash Score, 8.3 for Jack Robinson, 8.6 for Ivo Gerbic. I don't know how he's managed that because a lot of the shots were kind of straight at him today, and it kind of pushes him out rather than pushing him over or pushing him wide. It pushes him out, which I don't like, in my opinion. But at least it doesn't go in the back of the net. That's the main thing. He probably made more saves today than he's made in his whole Sheffield United career up to now. Lots and lots of shots on target from them. Actually, lots of shots on target from us as well. When you look at the stats, 13 goal attempts from us, 9 on target. 9 on target. I don't remember half of them. They had 32 goal attempts, 12 on target. That is mental. 20 off target. They had so many long shots that went flying over the bar in the first half, mostly in the first half, some in the second half as well. 10 corners to 3. Yeah, we always looked a bit dodgy on the corners. I was chatting to Hal before I came on, and Hal was talking about Ivo Gerbic and the fact that he comes out a lot. I've not noticed this necessarily myself, but he comes out a lot and tries to Superman it. And yeah, it's worrying that, especially how big he is, how tall he is, how broad he is. You want him to be kind of just looking after his box, no problem. I'm the big man in here. I'm going to come and take this. But actually, Solanke, I think they were one in the first half and one in the second half, where he's gone up with Gerbic. The first one, Gerbic has just let him bully him. And yes, he's got a free kick for both these two, but he just doesn't look like he can command his box. The first one, um, I think it was just kind of left of the goal, and he just yeah, he didn't look very confident jumping up for that ball with Solanke. I don't even think he does jump. And the second one, he just walks him into the back of the net, and Gerbic is like, "Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to get a free kick." And it's like, it is a bit worrying at times. Anyway, talking about other stats, ball possession, 70% to 30%. That's kind of how it's been going for the Blades against most teams away from home this season. Some at home as well, in all honesty. They had 2.7 goals expected. We had 1.15. So obviously we took our chance as well, which is great to see. And we've done that quite a lot this season. We do take our chances when they get them, especially away from home. So yeah, another 2 goals scored away from home. How many has that been recently? Because we seem to be doing it practically every week we go away from home, other than the Wolves game. Let's have a look. Last few results away from home. Internet going really, really slow. Thank you very much. So obviously 2 today. 0 against Wolves. 3 away against Luton. 2 away against Palace. Gillingham doesn't count. Obviously, then Man City, Chelsea. It's obviously only those last 3 other than the Wolves. So Bournemouth, we scored 2. Luton, we scored 3. Palace, we scored 2. We scored away at Villa. We've done all right this season away from home. We've done okay. We have. But it would be nice to see us as obviously pick up more points, and that's the really the real thing that I'm struggling with. And it's nice to be off the bottom of the league. It is, but you never know. Burnley could just go and upset whoever it is. The reason why I don't know who it is, who they're playing, but I'm saying upset because let's be honest, Burnley are bottom of the league now. So whoever they're playing, it will be an upset. I want to have a quick look now just to see who it is. They have got tomorrow, I believe. West Ham away from home, and that is tomorrow at 2 p.m. So yeah, you would think that West Ham would win that game, but knowing Sheffield United's luck, Burnley will probably turn them over, and we'll probably be bottom of the league again. So anyway, let's go through. Yeah, I did. Hal's just reminded me here. Set piece and subs, the story of the match. Yeah, it's the same as always, isn't it? Set piece. We need that set piece coaching as soon as possible, don't we? As soon as possible, because it's just not good enough. I don't know how we are conceding so many goals from corners. Like, these players are experienced defenders. Like, they should be just heading balls away. It should be fine. I know we're used to Enel, Egan, Basham, Jack O'Connell in the past. I know we're used to all these big blokes heading the ball away, and maybe we're just not commanding enough, and we need somebody in there just to help him out a little bit. It was a bit weird to see Enel not playing in this game, especially as he is the captain. Enel makes us look a lot weaker. We look more shaky with the change. Yeah, we looked more shaky with the changes we made when he came on. That's what I think you're saying. Fair enough. Yeah, yeah, I think we did. When the subs came on, it went away from us. It really did. And I thought McAtee coming on would be a really good thing, and Will Asula coming on would be a really good thing, because Will Asula's got the legs and McAtee's got the trickery. So I thought when those players came on, it would help us out. And Wilder probably thought the same, in all honesty. But yeah, in hindsight, having McBurney at the front post, heading balls away all day long would have been a better idea. Once we made the subs, it was like Rourke's drift. I don't know what that means, but fair enough. Personally, I would bed in more of the young ones to prepare for next season. I think you're right, SA. I think you are right. That was on Wilder. McBurney having his best game of the season, an only good set play defender. Taking him off loses the game. If he's gassed, let him chill in open play. That's exactly what I said, Aaron. Except for I didn't say gassed because I think I'm too old to say gassed these days. This team has been playing with my mental health. At least we are not bottom. Exactly. That is the only thing you can say from this game. Outrageous substitutions. Why take McBurney off? I think we're all thinking the same, Gaza. Not throwing it away would have taken a point before. Thought Ollie Arblaster had a good game off the bottom. Above world's best manager. Well, world's second best manager. Fair enough. Fair enough. Ollie Mack and Diaz coming off was a turning point. We had to defend. Do you know what? They were fantastic together, those two. I've not seen them play up front together, I don't think. Yeah, two big lads. McBurney trying to hold it up and flick it on and just bring other players into play. And Brereton Diaz just running with it and running with it. And he just always looks difficult to get the ball off. But I think that's almost like he doesn't know where he's going. So how are they going to know where he's going? But I really think they both played really well together today, which I wouldn't say I wasn't expecting because like McBurney has some very good games at times, and Brereton Diaz I'm a big fan of, but I've never seen them play together. And I almost felt like we need a bit more pace up top. That's why I probably would have opted for Will Asula, but I think Wilder did it perfectly today with those two. Just shouldn't have took them off. Sousa was good for 15, but Anel has looked a shell of himself and looked his fault from the set piece. Yeah, possibly, but I don't know. I don't know. I think everyone's getting on Anel's back at the moment because he has been slightly poor, but I don't think he's been any poorer than Truster. I think Robinson's been the better, but also Robinson's had some bad times as well. He's scored own goals and stuff like that. So, and the goalkeeper doesn't inspire confidence, I don't think, at times. So, I think it's a bit of everyone's fault. It's good that George is back. I think George really, really does help everybody. Having been there, done that, he's obviously vocal. He should be captain, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm fine with Robinson being captain, but I just feel like George is the captain for me. He seems like he gets everybody up for the game, and obviously Robbo was scrapping the other week. So anyway, it doesn't matter who's the captain really to me. I've never really cared who the captain is, unless it's somebody like Chris Morgan or Rob Page or some big brute at the back that you think, yes, that is my captain. Or Billy Sharp, someone who's been there, done that, bought the t-shirts, stood on the terraces, being a ball boy, got that passion for the Blades. I understand that too, but I don't actually really care who the captain is. They should have 11 captains on that field, in my opinion. Garbage was amazing. Wow. Arblaster absolutely balled out. I don't know what that means, Beast Boy, but I think that means he was good. Should have been Brookson when McAtee came on, then Macca instead of Norwood. When did he even touch the ball? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Arblaster had such a good game. Big fan of that performance. Merits more minutes for the remainder of the season. I think he's played himself into Wilder's plans anyway, let's be honest. I'm glad we're above Burnley for at least a week. Yeah, the thing is about Burnley, like even when we've played well and we've picked up an odd point, we're not. We've. I can't remember the last time we weren't 20th, so it's just nice to see us not be bottom. Soon as he brought front two off, it was inevitable. Yeah, that's unfortunately true. It's all good and well chasing promotion for what? Another season of this BS. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. At least we aren't last anymore. Yeah, definitely. Honest question though, did anyone think at 2-0 we was getting 3 points? Because I absolutely didn't. Do you know what? Yes, I did. Only because of the Luton game, because we the only goal we conceded was a penalty, and we scored two very good goals, and then we finished the game off. And I felt like it was going this way today because I didn't think Bournemouth were very good. I thought they were they were better than Luton were, but and they were creating more chances, but they weren't taking the chances, and just all the luck went for us today, I felt. So yeah, it was at 2-0. I kind of thought we'd done it, I'll be honest. And Twitter will say the same. I'd sooner rather be playing championship football than go through this dross every season. I think you're right. England winning the rugby, thank you very much. Subs killed the game. Justin, you're absolutely bang on, mate. Standard Blades defending, bro. He's not the greatest tactician, Wilder. He used to be, in my opinion. I think he used to come up trumps quite a lot, but maybe the Premier League with not the best of players is the reason, not Wilder's tactics. But yeah, he should be able to bring players on, and they should be able to bring it home. But yeah, I think Wilder is to blame for what he did. Trusty, that surname, far from it. Wilder cost us the game with the subs. Feels like we can't string passes together. Every time our defence got the ball, they booted it back to Bournemouth. I felt like we did string the passes together early on. And then towards the end, when we went 2-0 up and then we conceded, it was just boot it anywhere. But as soon as we went 2-all, we looked like we were trying to put passes together again, which is just so frustrating. It really is. Blades bottled it, missed the game. Wife is in hospital. Oh, hope everything's all right, Wayne. As soon as subs came on, I thought, gonna lose this. Yeah, yeah. I didn't think that though. I just didn't. I didn't get that. But yeah, obviously, I didn't realize how direct they were going to go because obviously you would think from when we played them at Bramall Lane, they cut through us at will, and they were fantastic, Bournemouth, that day. They weren't as good today, but obviously then went direct because they know that's where we struggle, and balls was coming into the box, and we just could not deal with it, especially, like I said, when McBurney went off. Tactics become more and more important these days when it's down to the finest of margins. Wilder has to get them spot on each week to get a result. That's exactly it. When your players aren't quite as good as the players on the other side of the pitch, every little counts. It really does. Nick, do you reckon Chris will still be in charge next season? I'm desperate to still see him. I think he will. I think he will. I don't think the Prince would have put him in charge for a few games just to get rid of him. I think he's got to pick up more points though. If we keep losing fives and sixes like we have been, obviously, other than today and a few other away games, especially at home, when you're at home, you feel like you should get something from every game. Like I just do. I've always felt that. Obviously, it's a little bit different in the Premier League, but you certainly don't expect to lose 5 and 6-0 every single week. And that's what's happening. So Wilder needs to get that sorted. He needs to get it sorted. If not, you never know. Like, if we keep losing fives and sixes, the Prince might be like, enough's enough. But I think that Wilder can get this team playing well and get us promoted next season. I feel like that could happen. And Ellie's a good championship player, not good enough for the Prem. You might be right, Stephen. You might be right. These players can compete. They showed us that today until the gaffer interfered. If we had been a little more extravagant after Heke, we could be in with a chance of staying up. I think you're right. Well, you're definitely right. I think that we dropped so many points early on under Wilder when we were in really good positions. And it's a shame. It's a shame because I think Wilder really could have been a revelation if we didn't throw away games like Luton at home, like Aston Villa away. That just 2 games that I'm thinking of there are 5. That's 5 points. That puts us right back in it. I think, says he looking without looking at the table. 5 points would put us on 19 points, which is 2 points behind Luton. It wouldn't even be that because we'd have obviously took the points off Luton. So that had taken us on either joint points or 1 point above them. I can't remember. But yeah, that just from um, 2 games where we've thrown the game away, we could have been right back in it with everybody else. But it's just a shame. It's weird that we now look better away from home. Hal, you're absolutely right. I've never ever known us to be better away from home than at home. At least we'll get our money back for Archer in the summer, every cloud and all that. I'd love to see Archer in the championship with us. Obviously, it's not going to happen, but I'd love to have seen that. However, we've done well to get, because imagine if we'd have had the same thing with Liverpool, with Ryan Brewster, would have been all right. Would have done well with that one. But yeah, it's not to be. I think it's probably a good deal in the end for us to get his money back for Archie. But I'd still have liked to have seen him. You never know; we might get him back on loan from Villa. Who knows? The penalty miss and the goal disallowed for handball were very harsh and unlucky. So let's take it. Absolutely, Paul. That's what I said earlier on. Absolutely. David Brooks low next year as a replacement for McAtee. Who knows? I'd like to see David Brooks back. I'm not sure whether he'll be at his fine flowing best as he used to be, but he's certainly something that we don't have right now. Any clue what? I don't, our friends. I have no idea. Worrell in as a defensive general as to back up Egan if fit. I love Worrell. I think Worrell's a fantastic, fantastic player. I really do. And I'd love to see him. Loads of Forest fans don't like him. And I think it was Hal was saying that he's not a massive fan of Worrell, but I am. I also wanted to see Mepham back at Bramall Lane. Oh, back at Bramall Lane or at Bramall Lane, because we were talking about him when we were talking about Anel going to either, well, the Serie A, either I can't remember if it was Napoli or Lazio, whoever it was. And I would have liked to have seen Mepham, and Mepham looks really, really good on the ball, having seen him today. So I think he'd be quality for us in the championship, but I don't think he's ready to step down just yet. We've thrown away 3 points away today. Why can't we hang on? Yeah, absolutely, Eamon. Absolutely. It does really winds me up. But it is the Premier League and it is brutal. Archer's got any since we won't come in. I don't know what you mean, mate. And finally, rubbish, underperforming substitutes. List us the 2 points there. Yeah, down to the subs. Archer's got any sense? He won't come nowhere near. Fair enough, Tabs. Fair enough. Yeah, there we go. That's us all done. I think it's one of those days where we kind of just expect to concede silly goals. It's nice to get a point. It's nice to get off the bottom. But yeah, it's one of them things. We keep throwing games away over and over again. But who cares? Like, we're going down anyway. So whether we get 3 points today, it'll just prolong the heartbreak, won't it? Of getting relegated. Because if we'd have won today, I think a few people would have had a faint hope. But yeah, obviously it wasn't to be. Let's move on. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Leave a like and comment exactly what you thought from the game. And we'll catch up soon. Thanks a lot.